All year long, you will see me switching between programs. Here I am in Safari. And look, hey, I'm in Photoshop. How'd that happen? Well, if you look down here, Command Tab. Command Tab. You hold down Command and you tap Tab and let go of both of them. And you end up at the last program you used, which is fabulous. Because if you're working through, let's say, a tutorial on how to do your headshot, which I may suggest for you to do today, and you have the videos here, you have to jump over to Photoshop in order to follow the instructions. Well, this gives you a full screen look at both applications. Now, quite a lot of times students will shrink Photoshop to half the screen and shrink your browser to the other half the screen and watch a little tiny movie right here and then have a little tiny workspace over here. And kids will say, this is just easier for me. Okay, let's say that it is easier for you, that you have good eyes and you can see the smaller versions of the movies just fine. It doesn't mean that learning how to switch between apps isn't a skill that you need to have. And then if you have multiple apps open, if you hold down, now I want you to practice this. If you hold down the Command key and don't let go, just hold down the Command key and tap Tab, and I'm still holding down the Command key, I'm not holding down Tab. Then I can see all the apps I have open. And if I want to get to, say, Chrome or the Finder, all I have to do is tap my way there and let go, and I'm automatically taken there. I can go all the way down to the end of the list, and it hops around the corner and comes back to where I started. If you hold down Command and Tab, this thing just runs like a wild goose and it doesn't help you at all. Okay, so no, we're not going to Steam. So then you go ahead and set this up so you can jump back and forth between those two apps. Now I mentioned, hey, it is easier for some people to work side by side, but the problem is you're going to be working on some Photoshop files that are incredibly large. This headshot is a small image and it'll work fine side by side, but it's really good practice. Yes, it may be harder for you, but I'm telling you, it's in your best interest long term to learn how to switch back and forth between apps. And if you get out of control, you hold down the Command key and tap Tab and move down the list. And yes, you can just click on one of these to move to there and jump back and forth between the apps you want. You got it? So you set it up so it goes back and forth between the two you want, and then you can just jump back and forth. Now, I expect you to do this. Kids that are dragging windows across the screen drive me crazy. There's no way to work. It's a terrible way to use the tools, and get out of that habit. And don't just minimize everything either. That's insane. You know, go ahead and work intelligently. All right? Practice this.